Welcome back everyone. So with the same chapter, new topic. Chapter name is Resource and Development, and the topic that we are going to start today, that is the land utilization. This means that in the previous video we have gone through the land resource. The land, why it is termed as a resource. Land which is used for different economic activities, where all the life they perform different activities to grow and develop. Now, in this video, we are going to see that how this land is utilized by human beings. So this land is utilized for different purposes. So come and look into it. The first thing, the land is utilized as a forest resource. So you have seen in your surrounding that land is composed of forest areas where the trees grows naturally, covered with thick forest and thin forest, where the different activities done by human as well as wildlife. Next, land is there where the human is not using for the cultivation. So that is the land not available for cultivation. Why? Why there is a land which is not used for cultivation? Because that land is not suitable for cultivation. Maybe it is not a fertile land with all the required elements that is needed. So these are the barren and the wasteland. Then next, land which is put non-agriculture uses. For example, we are using it for buildings, land used for roads, factories, different other infrastructures. So that land is used for different activities to do. So this land is used for non-agricultural purposes. Next category, the land under uncultivated land. Now there are some land which is used for different purposes but not for cultivation. Now why not used for cultivation? Because they are excluding the fallow land. For example, the permanent pasture lands. So there are pasture lands. The land is composed of pastures and the grazing land, which is not used for cultivation again. The land under miscellaneous tree crops, groves, which is also not included in a net zone area. Next is a cultivable wasteland, a land which is left uncultivated for more than 5 agriculture years. Now, what do you mean by this agriculture year? First, we need to know about this. So, to know about the agriculture year, what it means? Agriculture year means a year where we use 3 seasons to grow 3 different types of crops. That is Rabi, Kharif and Zaid. So these are the 3 agricultural seasons within a year where the farmers, they grow different types of crops, and thus they comes under the agriculture year. So the land which is left without cultivation for less than 1 agriculture year, that means 3 seasons of agriculture, when they leave it, then it comes under the current fallow land. Now, other than current fallow land, there are also uncultivated land which is kept fallow for past 1 to 5 years of agriculture years. That means 5 into 3. So that means 15 agriculture season we are leaving it without cultivation. So these land comes under the current fallow, other than current fallow. Now other category for which we are using the land, that is the net zone area, the physical extent of land on which crops are sown, harvested is known as net sown area. Now, other than net sown area, there is a cross cropped area, an area more than once in a year, that is once in a agriculture year, plus net sown area is known as a gross cropped area. So, these are the different purposes for which they are using a land for performing different economic activities. So, this is all about land utilization, that how we are using the land, how we are utilizing the land. Now, next come to the land use pattern in India. So, land use pattern in India, it is little different because the land which we are utilizing, it is composed of different reliefs. Already we have said that India is composed of hills, mountains, plains, plateaus, valleys, and thus every relief have different physical categories, different characteristics. So they have different topography. They have a different topography, climatic conditions, soil types, as well as based on that, the human factors such as population, density, technological capability, and cultural and traditions, etc., they are playing an important role in the land use pattern, because physical and human factors, they are interrelated to each other. Thus, if we study about the physical factor, then we cannot deny the human factors, because the land is used a different way because of its different relief as well as the human activities who are playing on it. Okay, now if we come to this pie diagram. Now there are two pie diagrams. These two pie diagrams, they are showing the two different patterns of land between two different years, 1960-61 and 2014-15. Now if we see the pattern, there is a variation in the pattern, that is the land use pattern. Now if we see in 1960-61, the net sown area, it is of 45.26%. That means out of the total land use, 45.26% of land is used for net sown. In 1960-61, but in 2014 and 15, the percentage is declined. That is 45.5% it becomes. So the declination from 26.26 to 0.5. Then if we see another part, that is the forest. So here this portion shows the forest coverage area. In 1960-61, there was a percentage of forest cover is 18.11%, but if we see there is an increase in the forest coverage area, that is 23.33%. Now next, in same way we see that there is a change in the barren and unculturable wasteland area under non-agriculture uses, permanent pasture and grazing land, area under miscellaneous trees, crops and groves, culturable wasteland, fallow under other than current fallow land. So in all the categories, we see there is a changing pattern. Why? The reason is the need of people, demands of people to fulfill, the development. All these are the different reasons for which we see there is a change in the pattern. Just take an example of agricultural land and the forest coverage area. So if we see the agricultural land, there is a decline. Why? Because of the increase of population. The increase of population demanding more infrastructure, and this infrastructure, they are constructed there on the agricultural land. And if we see that the land under non-agricultural uses, they are increasing. Why? Because these are used for construction of different infrastructures like settlements, railways, buildings, all this. So this is the reason that why we see a change in the land use pattern. The total geographical area of India, it is 3.28 million square kilometer. The land data that we are getting, which we have shown just now there in the two pie diagrams, their data is available only for 93% of the total geographical area. And 7% of the geographical data, it is not available with us. The data which is provided here, it is for only 93% geographical area. Now, what is the reason? What are the different areas which is not taken into consideration to get our data here? The land use reporting for most of the northeastern states except Assam has not been done fully. Moreover, some areas of Jammu and Kashmir occupied by Pakistan and China also are not being surveyed. These are the different regions where the survey is not possible, maybe because of the highly rugged terrain, climatic conditions, where people is unable to reach to do the survey and collect the data about the land use pattern. So only whatever the data we are going through, it is from that 93% of geographical area. Now there is a detail here about the pie diagram. So we'll just go through. Now here the land under permanent pasture has also decreased. So land which is under pasture land, it has been decreased. Now how we are able to feed? So if there is a decrease in the pasture land where the cattle were reared, if they are decreased, then of course it will affect the cattle population. So how we will do this? How we will solve the problem and how we will feed the cattle? So this, what are the consequences? Now here we all know that the cattle were sent there on the land, pasture lands, to feed, to graze. Now, how we can solve it? There is one way to solve it. There are many ways, but here we will discuss only one way, that is a ranching process. Ranching. So, with the help of ranching, we can able to feed the animals and help the growth of grasses. Now here, in this process, the land is divided into different parts or the parcels, and these parcels, one by one, it is left free for the cattle to feed, and meantime the other parcels or the parts, they are able to, or they are get the time to get the new grasses. So this way it helps the cattlers to graze their cattle as well as maintain the ecosystem. So most of the other than the current fallow land are either a poor quality or the cost of cultivation of such land is very high. So hence these lands are cultivated once or twice in about 2 to 3 years, and these are included in the net sown area. Then the percentage of NSA, that is net sown area, in India comes to about 54% of the total reporting area. So the pattern of net zone area varies greatly from one state to another. Why? Why there is a variation in the pattern of net zone area from north to south, east to west states? So it is over 80% of the total area in Punjab and Haryana and less than 10% in Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Manipur and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. What is the reason behind this? Of course, the relief. The relief and the climate is playing an important role in the variation. The type of soil that is available there, the amount of water availability, all these are the different factors which makes different states to have different percentage of net zone area. So here the question is already given there. Find out the reasons for the low proportion of net zone area in these states, mainly that is Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Manipur, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So from this part, the MCQ questions asked. So please go through this part. From this part, the MCQ comes here. Now next, the forest area in the country is far lower than the desired 33. So we got how much? 23.3%. So what is the desired percentage? That is 33%. So this is also one important question where the board asks, that is, what is the desired percentage of forest area? That is 33%. And what is the percentage we have? So as per the National Forest Policy, this is the desired area, the forest area we need. So that means we need more land to be used for the forest coverage. Now this National Forest Policy, it was implemented in 1952. So this is another question that comes there in board. Now it was considered essential for maintenance of the ecological balance. So why this is desired? Why this 33% of the total geographical area need to be covered with forest? Of course, to maintain a balance in the ecosystem. So the livelihood of millions of people who live in the fringes of forest depends upon it. A part of the land is termed as wasteland and the land put to other non-agriculture uses. So wasteland includes rocky, arid and desert areas, and land put to other non-agriculture uses includes what? Settlements, roads, railways, industries, etc. So these are the different purposes for different ways we are using land for doing different activities. Now the continuous use of land over a long period. Yes, we have seen that since from ages, the human civilization have been changed. People do number of economic activities to develop, to grow economically, socially, right? And thus, in that case, the land, it is reducing its quality and quantity. If we take an example of agriculture, of course, in the agriculture sector, the new development makes the soil to degrade its quality. Yes, so thus, the continuous use of land over a long period of time, what happens? It is degrading the quality of the soil, and thus we need to take measures because soil or the land is playing a very, very important role in the process of development. So if we are not going to take measures in regard of this land resource, then it will impact our development, our growth, our livelihood. So continuous use of land over a long period of time without taking appropriate measures to conserve and manage it, it has resulted in land degradation. Land degradation means land is degrading its quality and the quantity. When the quality and the quantity degrades, that means the land is degrading. So that is a land degradation when we are not taking a proper measure to conserve it. So this is another question, that is, what is land degradation? 1 marks question, it is asked there. Now this is in turn has serious repercussions on society and environment, of course, because land is a resource where humans perform all the economic activities. Of course, if it is degrading, then it will affect the human society and its environment. So, this is the end of this video. I hope you get many knowledge, you understood the topic. So, wait for the next video. Bye bye. Thank you.